Hey yo, I'm sitting here trying to get some sleep. And Son's sitting here bugging the shit out of me about creating some content. So I get on gdex.pro. Referral link will be in the description. I go to copy trade and I said, okay, what's the big deal? And then I go to perps. And then I said, okay, ain't nothing different. I said, oh, look at this. I said, share my copy trading. I said, what is this? Generate a shareable link that allows others to copy your trades. I trade a lot, so that means that if you're watching this video, you can copy my trades and make money the same way I make money, okay? Now, hold that thought because I did some testing and caught some L's, so you might want to hold that thought. But let's just keep going. Pre-fills your wallet address for easy copying. So if I put in a trade, you're going to pre-fill my wallet address into your account and you're going to copy trade me. Okay. Others can set their own risk parameters. So if I have a stop loss for 50%, you can say if I want to put in $10,000, I'm cool with 10%. I'm cool with $1,000. I ain't greedy. You can change your parameters based on what I do because I don't do large amounts. I do small amounts because I go on a lot of trades because a lot of people are copy trading me, right? So you can figure out what you want to do on your parameters. Although you're gonna be doing copying my trades, you're going to be able to set your own parameters based on your risk tolerance. Okay. So, a great way to share your own trading strategy. Now, so that's going to be a different video on this, because I have different people following me that have different risk profiles, if you will. I have an aggressive wallet, I have a medium, and I have a low risk wallet. Okay. And then we also will go through Gemach.io as well. That way you can do lending and you can get fees off of or get rewards off of lending. Then we'll also talk about Curve, and then we'll also go on to so just on here, for example, we're on Solana where we can do some liquidity mining. We can do Ethereum, Optimism, Binance, Sonic, Fractal, Nibiru, Base, Arbitrum, Barachain, and Sui. Okay. Now, on another video, I'll talk about Curve because it's a totally different application because we have Gemach is on pretty much every single chain as well as every single protocol where the money is. We do a lot of testing so to see where the money is going to go, so you can see in real time using artificial intelligence where the money's going, where the money's rotating before essentially a particular chain pops off. So if we're on Sonic, for example, right? I can go on Discovery and I can see how many tokens are getting launched on Sonic. So if this thing is popping off every second, that means liquidity is moving over on the Sonic chain. You see Sonic's pretty much stagnant. Ain't nothing popping off yet. You say this was 31 minutes. The last token on Sonic was launched 31 minutes ago. Now look at Solana. It'll pop up like 4th of July, 11 seconds ago, 14 seconds ago, 20 seconds ago. The liquidity is over on Solana. Okay. Let me look at, let's see what Ethereum's doing. 11 minutes ago, 15. So you see they're launching fairly quickly. For smart contracts, this is very quickly, right? But look at Solana, right? Now look at the market. See, here's the difference. Look at the market caps. They're launching in seconds, but look at the low market caps. These people are just trying to do rug pulls. Low market cap on Solana, right? Or on ETH. See, the ETH market caps are higher. They're not much higher, but there's one for 200. Come on. For 200 right there. Boom. Market caps. And you could also filter if you wanted to based on market cap. And again, we're going to do another video on that because I'm not doing that, but that's just good stuff that we're on it. So just what on this video is about, if you go to perps, like I said, you can share my copy trade. I copied that. And then if you go there, my address defaulted in, right? Inverse copy. So well, since we're here, I'm gonna go through all the fields here. The inverse copy trade, do not use that because the inverse copy trade would be you're going to be trading against me. So if I do a Bitcoin long, you're going to do a Bitcoin short, and you're going to see shortly why you don't do a Bitcoin short in the bull market. I learned I did that to show you why not to. I lost money so you don't have to. There you go. Because I fuck around and found out. I sure did on Bitcoin. Bitcoin they said no, no, no. Anyway, there's my target address. So you don't touch this field. Do not touch this field. Label, you say shit. I can't spell. Jesus Christ. That's what AI does to you. Jesus Christ. Anyway, position size, fixed amount or fixed ratio. Fixed amount, you say I'm gonna put in $100 every trade, and the Degen nigga puts in a trade, okay? Or you could say I'm gonna put in 50 or whatever a fixed ratio is, okay? Let's say $100. Risk management down here. Take profit. So for the sake of presentation, I always say I want to take a 90% profit. So if I get a double up, get a double up. But then if I say stop loss at 50, so for example, let's just say I want to do a 2x. I want to double my money, double my double for the sake of presentation. So if I'm going to do a fixed amount every time I go in a Bitcoin long, you say put in $100, right? You say close out that trade whenever I make $100, minus my fees, minus my fees, minus my fees. And then that's the most I'm going to make. The most I'm going to lose is $50 minus my fees. Okay. Copy position closing. As soon as my trade closes out, yours is going to close out if you have that. If you have no, you have to close it out manually. Okay. That's the copy trading. Great feature. Now, this is what this presentation was about was the stats. With the stats, you can see on 24 hours, I'm down $23. For the week, I'm down $23. I was testing, right? But here's the important part. Win-loss performance. You see in seven or for the week, I was in 16 trades, 12 wins, 4 L's, right? Not too shabby. Not too shabby. 75% win rate. Let's get it. Now, you know what this L was? You know what this loss was? Let me show you. Trading activity. The main loss, my biggest loss, I tried to short Bitcoin. I tried to short Bitcoin and lost $23. But then I paid eight fees. I paid $8 in fees. Okay. So not only did I lose $8 in fees, I also lost $23 because I tried to short Bitcoin in the bull market when Bitcoin is pumping. That's my fault. Right? Try to get greedy. Now this is the one that I did for the presentation where I did a IMX long on $50 and I made 23% on $12. So that's where that is. So if you go back to stats and you see that loss is at Bitcoin. See 23.67, 23.67. So it reset the week. It reset the week. So because I did that transaction, that because I did a Bitcoin short on Sunday, I closed out on Sunday. That pretty much jacked up my jacked up my win rate. But as you can see, whenever I was testing some AI, as you can see, I can make some adjustments. So I got 4 losses and 12 wins just testing out my AI. Same 5%, not too shabby. And like I said, we've made adjustments. So next week when I do this presentation, these numbers should be a little bit better. So this is the main thing. Once again, if you go to the Arbitrum, come on. If you go here and you go to Arbitrum, if you go to Perps up here at the top and you see stats, that'll be the stats. All right. So please take a look at this, like, subscribe, do whatever. I'm putting this on all platforms, so so as soon as I can get off my ass about recording content, God is good.